Hello everybody, I am Nahid Nawaz from Oakland University at Michigan, United States. I welcome you to this talk on improving adaptive routing performance on large-scale megaflight topology. This is a joint work with my advisor Atikul Mullah from Oakland University, Payman Fazian from Florida State University, Joe Tong from Wheaton College. Our work falls into the domain of interconnect design for large-scale high-performance computing or HPC systems. A large-scale HPC system such as Summit supercomputer, shown as an example in the picture, contains thousands of computing nodes. And the overall performance depends on how those nodes are connected with each other and also how fast they can communicate with each other. So it is important to optimize the interconnect performance by designing an efficient and scalable interconnect topology, and also by designing an efficient routing algorithm. Megafly is a recently proposed hierarchical interconnect. It is also known as Dragonfly Plus. One of the important properties of Megafly topology is that it is highly scalable and cost efficient. This topology is currently being used in Australia's fastest supercomputer, Gaudi, ranked 27 in top 500 list. It is also being used in Mahathi, ranked 54, Niagara, ranked 82, and many more on the current top 500 list of supercomputers. Here I will briefly describe how Megafly topology is constructed. This figure represents a single group architecture of Megafly. Each group is organized as a fat tree with two levels of routers. The bottom level or the leaf level routers are connected to the computing nodes, and the spine level routers are connected to the other groups using global link. And the intra-group connection in Megafly is a complete bipartite graph. That means each leaf level router is connected to all the spine level routers, and each spine level router is connected to all the leaf level routers. But there is no direct connection between any two leaf level or any two spine level routers. And multiple such Megafly groups are connected together to form a Megafly topology. In this figure, you can see that 5 Megafly groups are connected together to form the Megafly topology. And each group has two spine level routers and also have two leaf level routers. We call or denote such topology as MFly 2,5. Before proceeding further, I will discuss the property of path diversity in Megafly. The term path diversity simply refers to how many paths available between any two node pairs in a network. So from the figure, you can clearly see that Megafly has high path diversity at intra-group level because of all-to-all connection within a group. However, path diversity among Megafly groups depends on the size of the group and also the number of groups we have. So on a large scale, with high number of groups, intergroup path diversity will be less than the intra-group path diversity. This also means that the global channels are more likely to be congested. For example, in the same figure of MFly 2,5, the intra-group path diversity is 2. On the other hand, inter-group path diversity is only 1. So this clearly illustrates that the global links are more congestion prone. Now I will discuss various routing approaches on Megafly topology. First, I will discuss minimal path routing or min routing. In min routing, first the packet was routed minimally within the source group. Then the packet takes the minimal global hop to reach to the destination group. And after that, the packet route minimally within the destination group. This approach performs well for both benign or uniform traffic. And in canonical design, the number of min paths between each node pair is equal to the number of routers in the spine level. So in this figure, there are exactly 2 minimal paths available for each source and destination pair. But problem of this routing approach is that it leads to bottleneck on certain adversarial traffic patterns. For example, consider the following scenario, where most of the routers of group 1 tries to communicate with most of the routers of group 0 at the same time. In this case, the global link will be congested. So to overcome the problem of congestion-prone traffic, we can use Valiant Load Balancing routing, VLB routing. Here in VLB routing, we first randomly select an intermediate group. Then the packet was routed minimally from source group to the intermediate group. After that, again, the packet was routed minimally from intermediate group to the destination group. This routing eliminates the problem of bottleneck traffic because it has more path diversity, but it has also very high in-to-in latency, actually 2 times that of the minimal path routing. So to take advantage of both minimal path routing and VLB routing, we can consider adaptive routing. The first adaptive routing we can consider is the Universal Globally Adaptive Load Balance UGL routing. In UGL routing, the decision was made at source leaf level router. So at the source leaf level router, we randomly pick on minimal path and on VLB path. Then the packet was routed on a path with minimal estimated latency. And the latency is calculated from the queue length information of the router. For example, if the min path delay is 11 and the VLB path delay is 9, then we will route our packet non-minimally using the VLB path. This approach performs well for both benign and adversarial traffic patterns. But problem of this approach is that the routing decision was made at source leaf router, but it cannot detect the congestion on any global level link available in the spine level routers. So we also know that the global link are more congestion prone. So we can take decision at the source spine level routers. So in progressive adaptive routing or PAR routing, it is also known as the best routing for the Megafly topology. So in this approach, the UGL decision was made at spine level router rather than the source level router. This performs well for both benign and adversarial traffic patterns for canonical design. But the problem of this approach is that it is not optimal for all scales and configurations of Megafly. Here I will briefly describe a scenario where PAR is not optimal for Megafly topology. This figure represents a all-to-all canonical design of Megafly topology. Here, each spine router of each group are directly connected to routers of all other groups. So from any spine router, you can directly go to any other groups. But the problem of such topology is that we cannot further scale up the system after a certain level. For example, the given figure, if we want to maintain the all-to-all wiring, we cannot further expand the system. And PAR performs well in such all-to-all configurations. On the other hand, if we do the random wiring, where spine level router of each group are randomly connected to routers of some other groups, then we can easily expand the topology for larger sizes. You can see in this figure that using the same configuration, here we increase the number of groups from 3 to 5. And as the spine level routers are randomly connected to only a subset of the groups, not all the groups, so we may need to route our packet multiple global hops before it reaches to the destination group. So measuring congestion only on the source spine level router is not enough to optimally route the packet. And also we may need to downroute our packet in the intermediate groups. So local congestion is also important here. So in such case, PAR routing algorithm does not perform optimal. So before introducing our proposed routing algorithms, I will introduce the concept of piggyback routing. It was first proposed for original Dragonfly topology. Each spine level router maintains a separate congestion vector. The size of the congestion vector is the number of global links on that spine router. If a link is congested, the corresponding vector value will set to on, otherwise 0. And this congestion vector is updated periodically, and the information is piggybacked to source leaf router for making routing decisions. So our proposed first algorithm is a step forward extension of the previous piggyback routing algorithm. We call this algorithm is K-path adaptive piggyback routing. In this routing, the decision is made on the source leaf routers, and the congestion information of the global link are piggybacked to all the leaf level nodes. And a sample of K minimal paths are considered. After that, if there exists no globally uncongested route among the K paths, then the packet is forwarded non-minimally. Otherwise, we forward the packet minimally. Our second proposed algorithm is K-path QGAL with global congestion notification, KUGCN. We already said that in random connection, the local and global congestion both are important. So in this approach, we consider both local congestion and also the global congestion. So the first 3 steps are same as KPR. That means we take the routing decision at leaf level, and also global congestion is piggyback, and we also take the K-path sampling. And in step 4, we actually use the following comparisons. Let Q1 be the minimal output queue length of selected and uncongested paths to destination group, and BQ2 be the minimal output queue length of selected uncongested path to a randomly connected destination group. Then we will send the packet minimally if Q1 is less than 2 times Q2. Otherwise, we will send packet non-minimally into a random destination. So we used the SST macro parallel discrete event simulator for MPI trace-based simulation of our traffic patterns on Megafly interconnect. So we use 3 configurations of Megafly for our evaluation purposes. MFly 12,9, it is a small Megafly topology with 9 Megafly groups, where each group has each level of a group has 12 routers with high global connectivity and path diversity. MFly 10,11 is a medium-sized Megafly topology with 11 Megafly groups, where each level of a group has 10 routers with moderate global connectivity and moderate path diversity. And MFly 8,17 is a large Megafly topology with 17 Megafly groups, and each level of a group has only 8 routers with low global connectivity and low path diversity. The following figure represents the evaluation results on synthetic traces. The left figure represents the evaluation results on random permutation traffic, and the right figure represents the evaluation results on adversarial shift traffic. The first 2 bars represents the results of our proposed 2 algorithms. And the vertical axis represents the MPI communication time. The less the communication time, the better the performance. So from the figure, we can see that for random permutation traffic, both of our proposed 2 algorithms perform significantly better than all the other algorithms for all the 3 configurations of Megafly. And in adversarial shift traffic, our proposed second algorithm, KUGCN, which is the blue line here, performs significantly 30% better than the PARC. We also evaluate our results on NAS parallel benchmark applications. In NAS parallel benchmark application, our proposed algorithm KUGCN performs 18% better on integer sort or IS benchmark and perform 32% better than PAR in conjugate gradient or CG benchmark. And also it performs 8% better in multigrid MG benchmark and 43% better than PAR in Fourier transform or FT benchmark. And finally, it performs 3% better than in BT benchmarks. We also evaluate the performance of our scheme for different values of K. From the left figure, you can see that Megafly shows a maximum performance gain when we increase the value of K from 1 to 2. And after that, the increase is called nearly flat. So we suggest to keep K equal to 2 for K path sampling. Also, our proposed routing scheme requires global congestion notification, which added some latency from queuing, transmission, and propagation of the notification packets. So in the right figure, you can see that our routing algorithm can tolerate up to 100 microseconds of delay while still outperform the PAR. And this in-to-in delay in real life HPC fabrics is below 1 microsecond. So in summary, in this research, we introduced 2 new adaptive routing schemes. And the new routing scheme performs significantly better than the currently widely adopted progressive adaptive routing (PAR), especially when the topology size is very large and path diversity is very low. And also, our KU-GCN routing scheme performs best among the others in the majority of the workloads and topology sizes. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any question, please feel free to ask or contact me.